Hey there, my name is Judy. I'm here to share the story of how I almost lost everything that meant the most to me while chasing my dreams. Tune in and find out what happened next. It's a heartbreaking story that will make you reconsider all you hold dear in life. Growing up in Chicago's notorious housing projects was like living in a gritty urban jungle. The concrete towers loomed over us, casting their long shadows across the desolate landscape. Everything was gray, the buildings, the streets, even the sky seemed permanently shrouded in a thick layer of smog. The sound of sirens wailing in the distance became the soundtrack of our lives. Poverty clung to us like a second skin, and hope was a rare commodity. Our small apartment, though far from luxurious, was our sanctuary. The walls were thin, and we could hear our neighbors' hushed conversations and muffled arguments. But within these walls, we found solace and a sense of belonging. I promised myself that I would do whatever it took to break free from this life of poverty. Studying late into the night, applying for every scholarship, and working multiple part-time jobs were just some of the ways I fought for my future. "Judy, you're gonna wear yourself out," my mother would caution me. But I couldn't afford to rest, not if I wanted to build a better life for us all. "Ma, don't worry about me. I got this," I'd reply, my eyes heavy with exhaustion but my spirit unwavering in its resolve. And then, as if destiny had chosen us, Tony entered my life. We crossed paths in the college library, both of us buried in books. When I looked up into his eyes and saw his short black hair, I knew something within me had changed forever. "Hey, I'm Tony," he said with an inviting smile. "Judy," I replied shyly, a flutter beginning to arise in my stomach. As we studied together, our conversations tumbled from one topic to another without effort. Soon evening arrived, its golden hue filling the room and casting shadows on the stacks of books around us. Tony turned to me and smiled knowingly. "Judy, would you like to grab some dinner? I know this great little spot nearby." "Sure," I agreed, my heart racing at the prospect of spending more time with him. Our love story unfolded like the pages of a well-worn book, one filled with laughter, tears, and moments that would be seared into our memories forever. As the years went by, we became inseparable, and soon enough, we started a family of our own. "Judy, I love you, and I promise that together, we'll make sure our kids never have to face the same struggles we did," Tony vowed, holding my hand as we stood over the crib of our firstborn. "Tony, I love you too," I whispered, tears streaming down my cheeks. "We'll give them everything we never had." As the size of my family grew larger, so did my ambition to provide them with a better life. I had no intention of my children enduring the same conditions I had gone through, poverty and despair. "This time it will be different," I thought to myself. "I won't allow history to repeat itself." Even in my relentless pursuit of success, I began to lose sight of what really mattered, the love Tony and our kids brought into my life. My footsteps echoed throughout the hallways as I walked into the office building. The smell of coffee and ambition lingered in the air, and I finally arrived at my corner office, a symbol of the long hours and hard work I had invested in my career. As I settled into my office chair, my thoughts wandered to the family I was working so hard for, my loving husband, Tony, and our beautiful children. In my quest for financial stability, I'd become consumed by my career. I'd missed countless soccer games and parent-teacher conferences, choosing instead to chase after promotions and bonuses that would ensure my family's comfort. "Tony, I'm so sorry, but I can't make it to the recital tonight. Work's just crazy," I muttered into the phone, wincing at the disappointment in his voice. "Judy, this is the third time this month you've bailed on something important to the kids," he sighed. "I know you're working hard for us, but they miss their mom. Tell them I love them and I'll make it up to them, okay?" I pleaded, trying to ignore the nagging feeling that I was letting them down. "Okay, babe. I'll see you later," he said quietly before hanging up. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, it became harder to ignore the growing distance between my family and me. The guilt weighed heavy on my chest, but I couldn't shake the fear of slipping back into poverty. "Judy, did you hear? You've been nominated for the Marketer of the Year award," Sarah exclaimed one day, bouncing into my office. "You're going places, girl." "Wow, really?" I said, feigning excitement. In truth, the accolades felt hollow when I considered the price I was paying. "Hey, Mom, can you help me with my science project this weekend?" my son asked one evening over the phone. "Sorry, Buddy, I have to prepare a presentation for Monday, I replied, swallowing the lump in my throat as I heard his disappointment. Okay, maybe next time, he mumbled before saying goodnight. Judy, we need to talk, Tony said one night, after the kids were in bed, his voice filled with an urgency I hadn't heard before. He sat down at the kitchen table, gesturing for me to join him. Okay, what's going on? My heart raced as I tried to focus on his eyes. Look, I know you're working hard for us, but it's too much. The kids are suffering, Judy. His tone was firm, leaving no room for debate. I clenched my fists, feeling a mix of anger and guilt. Tony, I'm doing everything I can to give them a better life than I had, are you? Is that really why you're working all these extra hours? Or is it because your fear of poverty is driving you? Even at the expense of our family, both, I whispered, tears welling up in my eyes. I can't let them go through what I did, but I also don't want to lose them. Then you need to change, Judy. They need their mother. He paused, taking a deep breath. And I need my wife. I don't know how, Tony, I admitted, feeling my chest tighten with panic. I've been so focused on work that I don't even know how to be there for them anymore. Figure it out, Judy. Before it's too late, too late. I echoed, my voice cracking. What do you mean, either find a way to balance work and family or? I have to take the kids and leave, Tony, no, I pleaded, reaching across the table to grasp his hand. Please, don't do this. I'll change, I promise. Think about it, Judy. You have a choice to make. And you better make it soon. With that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me sitting there, my heart shattering into 1,000 pieces. The next day, I came home to find the house empty. I called Tony's name, but there was no answer. Panic rose in my chest as I noticed our family photos were gone from the walls. I stumbled into the children's rooms, finding their beds stripped bare and toys missing. Tony! I screamed, my voice echoing through the hollow emptiness of the house. Please, don't do this, but it was too late. My work had cost me everything, and now I had to find a way to pick up the pieces and rebuild before I lost my family forever. The emptiness of the house seemed to echo my own hollow heart, engulfing me in a suffocating silence. As I sank to the floor, clutching one of my daughter's abandoned stuffed animals, the crushing weight of my choices pressed down on me, threatening to break me entirely. Is this what you wanted, Judy? I whispered to myself, hot tears streaming down my face. Was it worth it? My pursuit of wealth and success had led me here, alone and broken. I thought about all the dinners I had missed, the bedtime stories left untold, and the soccer games unattended. The cost was too high. I couldn't let my family slip through my fingers like sand, scattered to the winds while I chased after empty promises. I needed to make a change, not just for Tony and the kids, but for myself as well. I couldn't continue down this path, sacrificing everything that truly mattered in life. And so, with a deep breath, I stood up and wiped away my tears. It was time to reclaim my life and fight for my family. Okay, Judy. You can do this, I murmured to myself, determination settling into my bones. You've come back from worse. Over the next few days, I began searching for a new job, one that would allow me to be present for my family without giving up on my passion for marketing. It wasn't easy. I faced countless rejections and disappointments, but I refused to give up. Finally, I found a small marketing firm that valued work-life balance and encouraged their employees to prioritize their families. When they offered me a position, I felt a spark of hope ignite within me. Thank you so much, I told my new boss, shaking her hand vigorously. I promise you won't regret this. Welcome aboard, Judy, she said with a warm smile. We're excited to have you. As I settled into my new job, I made a conscious effort to put my family first. I started attending my children's school events, cooking dinner at least twice a week, and making time for Tony and me to reconnect. Slowly, the pieces of my life began to fit together again. I knew it was time to face Tony and show him the changes I had made in my life. The fear of rejection gnawed at me, but I couldn't let that hold me back any longer. Tony, I began hesitantly during our next phone call, I'd like to invite you and the kids over for dinner. I want to prove to you that I've changed, and I'm committed to being a better wife and mother. Will you give me a chance? There was a pause on the other end, and I could almost hear Tony's skepticism. Judy, I appreciate the effort you're making, but what if this is just temporary? How do I know you won't slip back into old habits? Please, Tony, just come and see for yourself, I pleaded. For the kid's sake, at least. All right, he finally agreed, his voice cautious. We'll be there tomorrow night. As I hung up the phone, my heart raced with both anticipation and anxiety. I knew this was my one shot to win back the love of my life, and I couldn't afford to mess it up. When the doorbell rang the following evening, I took a deep breath and opened the door to find Tony standing there, our children clinging to his legs. Their faces lit up when they saw me, and I swallowed the lump in my throat. Hey, guys, I said, trying to sound cheerful. Come on in. Dinner's ready. Throughout the meal, I focused on engaging with my children, asking about their days, listening intently to their stories, and laughing at their jokes. Tony watched me carefully, his eyes searching my face for any signs of insincerity. Judy, he said once the kids had finished eating and were playing in the living room, I just want you to know that I really appreciate the effort you're making. It means a lot to me, and to the kids. My heart swelled with gratitude and determination. Thank you, Tony. I've realized what truly matters, and that's our family. My career will never again come before you or the kids. As we embraced, our children rushed over, wrapping their arms around us and completing the circle of love that had once been broken. In that moment, I knew we had all grown and transformed, and together, we could rebuild the life we had almost lost. With my family back in my life, I realized that the story of my relentless pursuit of success at the cost of my loved ones held valuable lessons that I could share with others. Here are 5 key takeaways I've learned from my journey. 1. Never being too busy for my kids and family. Neglecting them in pursuit of career and financial success led to missed moments and emotional distance. 2. While money is essential for a comfortable life, it's not everything. Prioritizing financial stability over family happiness comes at a cost. 3. Have a work-life balance and choose a career that allows you to be there for your loved ones. 4. It is important to recognize the need for personal growth and change when priorities go astray, especially in rebuilding relationships. 5. Sincere efforts and a renewed focus on family bonds can mend fractured relationships and lead to reconciliation.